So every week when we come in, what I try to do, I'm gonna go over the basics and give you guys some of the basic stuff, so that you can have it. You need the basics. But what I also want to do is to keep you updated on things. Okay. Um, Everybody with me? Okay. Now this is what we call an ETF. I talked to you guys about ETFs before. Yes? No? Some of y'all say yes, some of y'all say no. I either did or I didn't. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So, uh, an ETF is what's called an exchange traded fund. Okay? An exchange traded fund. ETFs are similar to the closest thing you would understand about what an ETF is a mutual fund. Normally, when people explain ETFs, they use the example of a mutual fund. A mutual fund is a fund where the managers of the fund have purchased multiple stocks from a bunch of different areas, and they are looking to get a return on the entire fund. Does that make sense? And so you buy into a mutual fund. Now, here's the thing. You don't own the stocks in the mutual fund. You own the mutual fund that owns the stocks. And so if the stocks do well and go up and all of that, the value of the fund goes up and does well, and you receive that value. Does that make sense? And so mutual funds are considered a bit more of a safe play in terms of that kind of gets you into the market without having you purchase individual stocks. The reason why is that individual stocks are more risky. And the reason why they're more risky is because, for instance, if you're investing in a particular area, and let's say you own a company and that company goes down, you're going to take all of the downside of that company. But if you have a fund and that company is in that fund, perhaps the fund has other stocks in it that are going up. So if one stock goes down, you don't take the whole downside, because the other stocks are kind of balancing out the wins and losses within that fund. An ETF is similar to that, except here's the difference. An ETF is a fund that houses certain stocks within a particular sector within the stock market. So, like for instance, one ETF is, and I made a lot of money off of this one, SMH, okay, SMH. And SMH is only semiconductors. So the only stocks that are in SMH are semiconductor stocks. There's another stock that's only semiconductors, which is SOXX, right? And so when you look in there, the only companies they have in there are companies that deal with semiconductors, okay? Now, why am I showing you this one? This one is a particular stock, and what does it say? What is it? Aerospace and defense. Why do you think I'm showing you this?
Probably something to do with Trump and all this bombing and stuff, and he's at the defense with the U.S. and blah, blah, blah. Something they put more money, like billions of dollars into the defense fund or something.
1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion is committed to defense spending over the next few years. I don't know if y'all heard me. 1.5 trillion.
Where he getting that money from?
It don't matter. He's putting 1.5 trillion, right? And so, what happened? Dave, what happened? Huh? I don't know. It's good right now? Okay, all right. Um, man, where did my thing go? I know. Listen, I be in here working. Um, all right, let me go. Man, I don't know where I. Oh, there it is. Okay, all right. So, all right. So this particular ETF only deals with aerospace and defense technology stocks. Right? So there are some defense technology stocks that I could give you that you might want to take a look at because of what's coming. But I don't know if you guys remember when we first started this. I told you you need to watch the news and you need to listen. And I know there's a lot of people, and I know a lot of us. There's a lot of us who just you don't like listening to Trump. You know, I try to have these conversations around some people, and the moment I say something, they be like, "Ugh, I can't stand listening to them. I don't even want to." Okay, right? But it's like you got to listen though, right? And the reason why you got to listen is because, like them or not, man, like him or not, his work, okay. Let me tell you something about this particular president. I'm not sure how he's been able to do it, but Donald Trump has more influence over world affairs and the U.S. stock market and politics than any other president in our history. I think it's a bad thing, but I'm not in power to change it, and so the question becomes, if I'm not in power to change it, my question becomes, how do I position myself and the people that I care about and love to benefit from it? Yeah, absolutely, right? And so this is one. When you heard that he arrested Maduro, right, and his wife, y'all heard about that, right? Right, the whole Venezuela type situation. When you heard about that, you immediately should have tuned in and start paying attention to everything. Yeah, because and I think we talked a little bit about it last week, but what that did on an international economic political scale was major. It was massive. Like, y'all don't understand. It was massive. And and again, the reason why it was so massive is because with him going in to Greenland, that upset the relationship China had with Greenland on some oil stuff and some precious earth minerals that messed up a lot of that. And because Trump is trying to position the U.S. in a certain way globally. And there is, we just ride around, we just go to work, we come home, we watch our stuff on Netflix, so you're not paying attention. But I'm telling you need to pay attention. There is an entire war going on right now. And the war is over who's going. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Let me tell y'all why y'all didn't hear it. Y'all not watching the news. You got to pay attention, right? And so this dude is entering conflicts and is trying to start conflicts in some instances, but he's fighting a war, and the war he's fighting is to position America as this certain kind of entity within the world, and on the back side of that, it positions himself and his family and the people he loves, and right, he's unapologetically doing that, right? And so what needs to happen is we need to pay attention to what's going on, and then we got to try to figure out, okay, how do we become beneficiaries rather than victims, right? Because all of this stuff that's happening is going to play a major role in the value of the dollar. It's going to play a major role in inflation creeping up, in prices for things that we like creeping up, which is already happening, and you feel it. It's playing a role in all of that, and it's going to get worse, right? And so the question becomes, okay, do we just fuss and complain, or do we reposition to benefit, right? And so I'm a reposition benefit person. And so if this man is going to if he's already designated 1.5 trillion into defense spending, like you really might want to take a look. Right? And so there's a couple other companies, like there's this one company, I heard about it 2 months ago, slept on it, and it's just been going up. It's a company called Kratos, or Kratos, K-T-O-S. What Kratos or Kratos does, they are a drone company. They build drones. Everything drones, Kratos does it. Here's the problem. When we think of drones, we think of the little things flying around, right? But you've forgotten, they've replaced a lot of stuff with drones right now, right? A lot of your warfare, the major warfare that's going on in the world, that will be happening and will be going on, that stuff is not boots on the ground. That stuff is sitting in a room on a computer with a mouse telling something where to go, when, why, and how. It's all drone technology, right? And so KTOS, that's so let me see, KTOS, right? So let's go down, right? So in 1 year, they're up 284%. I don't think y'all heard me. In 1 year, they're up 284%. In the last 6 months, they're up 106%. Year to date, from January 1st to today, they're up 58%. Y'all all right? Right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, we gotta tune in, pay attention. And so this particular one, this is a safer play. To be able to get into this one, and then one of the strategies for investing, if you want to do more specific investing, one of the strategies that you can use when you're looking at a good ETF is you pull it up and then you go over here to holdings. When you type in holdings, when you click holdings, holdings is going to tell you what stocks are actually inside the ETF. You with me? And so what you want to look at is typically your first five. Your first five is going to give away the bank. Why? Because the first five are going to be typically the heaviest components of that particular ETF. So when you look at number one, what's number one? GE. General, I was just telling y'all about it last week. General Electric, right? Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? Why is General Electric such a big company? Why is that so much of the portfolio? And what do they have to do with defense technology? Well, because GE builds turbines. They build jet turbines. And the jet turbines that they build are attached to what? Planes and drones. Anything that goes in the air, right? And when you look at it, when you look at GE, it's not that they just build engines that go on planes. They do that, but they also service them, right? That's a lot. And if you want to understand that, you need to really study how long do jet engines last. Because jet engines don't get replaced every year. Jet engines stay on jets for 10, 15, 20 years. And so what happens over that time? They get serviced. So every engine they sell has a built-in 10 to 20-year revenue reoccurring model, service plan. Right? And because they're building engines that go inside of jets and drones, and Trump is sending 1.5 trillion. Guess who's, come on. Right? Right? GE going for, listen, they in that piece. Right? They are in there. So let's see, what else? So RTX, and I'm not going to give you a breakdown on all of these, but RTX, you want to, matter of fact, I'm going to give you some homework. Look up RTX, find out what they do, okay? And then Boeing. Everybody knows what Boeing does. Boeing builds planes, right? Stop thinking Southwest, right? Right? You got to think fighter jets. You got to think drones, right? So you have Boeing that builds the planes. GE supplies the engine. Like, listen, they doing their thing over here, right? And then this other one, L3 Harris. Look that one up. L3 Harris has a coal. Oh my gosh, they got it, and and when I tell you they run into, can I pull this up? No, I'm about to do it separate. Yeah, they are running as well. Then if you go down a little further. Come on, get rid of this. What is? Boom. Okay, so then you got who? Lockheed Martin. Y'all heard of that? Him number 6, right? So him is number 6, but he's tied with number 5 for the weight in the ETF, right? And then you have a bunch of other ones underneath that, right? All of these are companies that are in this particular ETF. Listen. Yes. Now you see it. Now you see it, right? So this is a whole cheat code for dealing with ETFs, right? So if you want to go in, if you just want to do individual stocks, and you want to be a little bit more risky outside of an ETF, and you want to do individual stocks, go into an ETF, check out the holdings, check out the first 5. And that's gonna give you the cake of the ETF, because they're gonna front load the ETF with those first 5. Okay, and those first 5 companies are really what you want to hone in on and look at if you're going to invest in private companies as opposed to an ETF. Does that make sense? Okay? All right. So this is the piece that I wanted to give you for today as something new, something you can look at, something you can focus on, modern, new, current information of what's going on and what's happening. Again, make sure you look at the news, make sure you study it, make sure you understand it. Listen to all the political people. I know you probably don't like to do that, hate to do that. Listen, cut it on, pay attention, go and then switch up your news sources. CNBC is good for because they're going to do all the financial stuff. But listen to CNN. CNN is going to give you a particular. I don't like our news. I'm just telling you. I don't like our news because it's really not news. It's news entertainment is really what it is. So whenever you look at a particular news source, it's going to give you their particular bend on the news. They don't just report the news. They give you their bend on it. But you got to listen, right? And so listen to CNN, turn to Fox, listen to Fox, listen to what they're talking about. You just got to take in the information. And from a financial standpoint, there's certain things you're listening for, right? So you don't have to listen for the content and what they think about this. And just yeah, I'm listening for financial purposes. I'm listening for what are the Republicans are in power right now in both the House in executive branch, House and Senate. So you need to listen to Fox. Why? Because they're going to tell you what their interests are. And wherever their interests are is where the money's going to go. So you need to pay attention to know where the interests are and where the money's going. And if you listen to it, you would have heard weeks ago, months ago, this run up on defense, right? Because Trump keep talking about, he's itching to blow somebody up, right? Yeah, he's itching to. And so, listen, they was doing the whole drone missile strike on those boats. Listen, the boat just in the water and they got drugs. Right? Boom, right? Listen, all that was practice. Right? Practice. And I'm telling you, this thing is about to heat up. So, and I got off track, but let me go back because there's so much. But let me go back. So, if the U.S. takes over Greenland, that's another strategic play. If we take over Greenland, game over. We win. Greenland is a strategic move, not just from what they have, but also in terms of proximity. It is the shortest distance between continents, and the U.S. would control all of that. Here's the problem. Right? So why don't we just go take over Greenland? Because you got a problem. The problem is China's president has already said Taiwan is coming back home. He's been saying it for years, and he just recently reiterated it. Taiwan is coming back, and what he means is he's going to take over Taiwan, and Taiwan will be under Chinese rule again. It's what he said. Here's the problem with that. Man, I wish I had a whiteboard. The problem is that if he does that, he's doing it for a particular reason. The reason he's doing it is because there is a particular company based in Taiwan that is a Taiwanese company that is it is a linchpin inside of the AI sector. It's the company TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. Taiwan Semiconductor right now is currently spending billions of dollars to build to build factories in Arizona right now. I'm sending people I know in Arizona down to TSM to try to apply to work for TSM, right? Why? Because I want them to get the stock options. Here's the problem. If China takes over Taiwan, TSM becomes under Chinese control. What's the problem with that? The problem with that is TSM produces 90% of the semiconductors, the microchips, around the world. So just about any company that's doing anything with AI, you gotta go see Taiwan Semiconductor about something. And who's Taiwan Semiconductor's number one customer? NVIDIA. What's the number one company in the world? NVIDIA. So if Taiwan Semiconductor goes down and they can't, and the Chinese now control it, they're not going to cut off their best customer, but they're going to change how it is done day one. And everything is going to be set up to benefit China as opposed to the U.S. And that threat heightens the moment Trump tries to go take Greenland. Because of proximity. Y'all with me? Y'all feeling me? Listen, this ain't checkers. this is check. So you have to be aware of geopolitical movements and what's happening, because these things, and again, like I say, we home, you know what I mean? We fighting traffic. You know what I mean? We coming down to the church on Wednesday night, you know what I mean, to learn about these stocks so we can make a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm telling you is there's a whole war going on out there that you don't see. And that war is affecting how you and I live right now. Right now. Right? It's affecting how we live. And so we can either fuss about it, complain about it, bellyache about it, or we can figure out how to get in position and benefit from it. Okay? We good? Okay, let's hit it. All right, let's see. Where I'm at. Okay, all right. So last week we talked about, hold on, where's my thing? Okay. Okay, so for those of you who weren't here, I'm going to give you a quick overview of this, and then we'll get into where we were last week, and we will pick up from there. We good? Okay, so what this is what's called a stock quote chart, okay? And so one of my rules is that if I'm going to purchase stocks, and this ought to be a rule for everybody, we don't pay full value for anything. Right? You don't pay full value for anything. You always look for a discount, right? You always look for a sale, okay? And so we don't think about it, but when it comes to purchasing companies go on sale all the time. You just got to catch them. It's kind of like even if you go shopping and you're shopping for like have you ever went shopping for something and then you bought it and then like a week later that thing went on sale and you was like, dang, right? I could have got it for for this, and I paid this. And so companies are like that, right? And so what you never do, don't just run into the stock market and pay what just because the stock is going for this price. That's not what we pay. Right? We pay discount prices. Why? We wait on pullbacks because the stock market is going to go up and then it's going to pull back. It does it all the time, right? And so you want to buy on pullback. So what this does is it helps you to track pullbacks. So what we do is, and this is sort of my threshold that I'm giving to you guys. For me, what I like to do is I like to look for a stock's all 52-week all-time high. Okay, what is the all-time high for this stock over the course of 52 weeks? Right? What is their all-time high? And then once we determine what the all-time high was, then we have to calculate what does 10% off look like? What does that price look like? And then we go to 20% and then 30%. Okay? Now, once you start getting over 30%, you want to start asking deeper questions, because a lot of times when something is on sale in steep discount, there's a reason for it, right? And so what you want to do, what we want to do is we always want to buy healthy companies, but we just want to buy them on discount. What we don't want to do is we don't want to buy a sick company on a discount, because that ain't really a discount, right? That's like a fair value for the sickness of the company. Okay? So if you have a company that is healthy, like GE, GE is a very healthy company. So GE or GEV, right? Both of those are extremely healthy companies. And so, but the question becomes, what is the 52-week all-time high, and what does it look like to get a 10% pullback, 20% pullback, 30% pullback? And normally when you get pullbacks in those ranges, you can kind of start setting your buy-in points, if that makes sense, right? You can start setting your buy-in points. So like last year, and I think I told you this, we might have talked about it last week, but last year when Trump came into office, right around March, he started with this whole tariff thing. You remember that? And he was just going tariff crazy. I mean, he was 100% tariff on China. He just had numbers off the top of his head. I don't know if you remember, he had this tariff chart, and he was reading off the tariffs for all the different companies. And like, it was weird because people started analyzing the companies on the chart, and they started analyzing the countries on the chart, and they were like, we don't get nothing from them. But he got a 10% tariff on them. Like, the U.S. doesn't buy anything from them, right? It was just weird. But his thing is he always likes to show strength. So for him to have, a chart full of countries with tariff, that just looks strong, right? And so, and then he doesn't care about facts. So you can point it out, but he doesn't care about that. He just says something else and keeps moving. I'm telling you got to listen to this president. He is different than every other president we've had, right? He doesn't care about facts. And the people who are Trump supporters, Trumpians, they don't care about facts either. Right, like they don't, and I'm not trying to say anybody is dumb or silly or stupid. I'm really not. I'm just saying what the facts are. Trump can say something, it not be what he said, and when you tell the people who really support him, I'm telling you, they do not care. Right? I don't know if you saw it. There was a video. And they played some statements. Well, no, there was a video, and it was all like these like diehard Trump supporters were in this room. And man, I wasn't planning on talking about it, so I didn't think about it. But maybe next week I'll bring it so you can see it. But they were in this room, and they said, hey, there's some statements that Joe Biden made, and I want to read these statements to you, and I want you to tell me what you think about them. And they started reading the statements, and every time they responded, they were like, oh, that guy's crazy. Oh, see, that's why, blah, blah. And they were just going in. And then at the end, the people said, oh, wait, I had the wrong paper. These were actually statements made by Donald Trump. And then they said, let me read them to you again. And they read the statements, And the people were like, oh, well, he, and they were like really like defending the statements. Like, I'm talking one sitting. They just tore the dude up because they thought it was one person. But then when they found out it was Donald Trump, totally different reaction to the same statements. Right? And so that's why I'm saying, like, you really gotta listen, right? You really gotta listen. Okay, so here we go. So we want good companies on discount prices. Got that? That's this part. Okay? All right, here we go. Now the question becomes, how can you tell whether or not a company is good or whether or not a company is bad? And so just like I explained last week, whenever you go to the doctor, as soon as you walk in, doctor's going to do a couple things. Number one, they're going to take your temperature. Number two, they're going to take your blood pressure. Number three, they're going to look in your ears. Number four, they're going to look in your mouth. They're going to tell you to say, ah, right? They're going to look in your eyeballs. They're going to do all the stuff. Why? Because they're looking for symptoms. There are certain things that they know, like this is normal for a healthy person. This is abnormal for a healthy person, right? So if you go in and your temperature is 89, no, you're probably dead. Right? You're probably dead, or you're severely hypothermic. You know what I mean? Right? And so, no, your temperature. That's why I said your temperature. If you go in and your temperature is 89, it's a problem. You know what I mean? If you go in and your temperature is 110, it's definitely a problem. If you go in and your blood pressure is 120/80, right? If you go in and your blood pressure is 120/80, you're good. If you go in and your blood pressure is 210/140, listen, you're gonna see this blue light, and they're gonna call the dudes to come and get you, right? If you go in and your blood pressure is 60/49. Yeah, you're in a coma, right? And so all of these are signs of health, right? And they look for, because like if you've ever went and gotten blood work and they give you the blood work back, if you look on your blood work, there are ranges of normalcy, right? And that's how they can tell you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic, because your glucose level in your blood is past the normal range for what it should be. Right? And just looking at the number, right? They don't even need to do any other tests. All they got to do is just get the blood, test it, put the number on there, and once they look at the number, they'll tell you, oh, this is what's going on. This is what's happening, right? And so it's the same thing with companies. Companies have numbers that we look for that determine whether or not a company is healthy or a company is sick, right? And we have to know the vital signs of a company. That's our job. If we're going to invest, if we're going to be investors, we need to know the vital signs of a company. And so that's what this is for, right? So there's actually 12 different things that you're looking for, but I'm giving you the top 5, right? So just like when you go to the doctor, they're going to do 5 or 6 things to test you immediately, and then if you do like a full checkup, then they start doing other stuff. Right? So we're not going to do the other stuff yet. I'm not a full checkup. I just want to give you the top. The company just walked in your office, and you just want to take blood pressure. You want to you want to look in their ears, right? You want to tell them to say ah, right? You want them to cough. You want to make sure this company is healthy. All right? Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. So last week we started with the first thing. So the first thing is working capital, right? Working capital. Is everybody with me? Now, here's where your laptops and everything else comes in, right? So we did this last week. We'll do it again because I don't know if you guys went home and practiced it this week. I doubt it, Benita. So So, so, all right. So, so here we go. So working capital. Working capital is on your handout. It's the money the business has on hand within a 12-month period. And this number should always be positive. In other words, working capital is how much money do you have? Right? Do you have any money? This is why this number should always be positive. If this number is not positive, take this company off of the list, no questions asked. Right? You don't need to do the rest of the stuff. Right? If they ain't got no money, you don't need to do the rest of the stuff. Because when you're dealing with the company and they don't have no money, I told y'all this last week, they're going to do the same thing we do when we ain't got no money. Get a loan. They go into debt. Right? And we do not like companies with excessive debt. No, exactly. Exactly. Right? We don't want companies with excessive debt. Right? That's a quick way to the poorhouse. All right? And so that's why, matter of fact, that's why GE, the CEO that came in when they swapped out CEOs, that's why he broke up GE. GE was a dinosaur company, but it was swamped in massive debt. And he came in, chopped GE up into three companies: GE, GEV, right? GE Aerospace, GEV, General Electric Vernova, and General Electric Healthcare. Right? He chopped them up into three different companies, and he began a massive restructuring of their financials, their products, services, everything, in order to pay off debt. And he has paid off a mass amount of debt. And because he's done that and he's running the company so well, listen, this is the number one company in the ITA ETF, taking full benefit. Anyway, so we don't like companies with a lot of debt. We don't mind companies with debt. We prefer companies with no debt. But we don't mind companies with debt if they have the income to service the debt. Yes. If it a little more risky, but yes. Yeah. All right. So is everybody with me so far? Am I making sense? Okay, all right, here we go. So the way that we do this is we have to find out what the total current assets are minus the current total liabilities. And then you subtract the liabilities from the assets, and that tells you how much cash the company has. If the number's positive, we good, we go to the next step. If the number's negative, we not good, we drop it. Everybody with me? Okay, here we go. So the question becomes, where do you find the total current assets? So I gave you guys a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I gave you guys certain websites to go to because these are going to be staples for us. One of the main ones is TradingView. So on your laptops, I need you to go to TradingView. Pull up TradingView. We're going to TradingView. All right? And then once you go to TradingView, I need you to get past all of the introductory stuff, and they trying to get you to sign up for something, and you don't have to do that unless you want to. You can do a free account. You're good with that if you want to do that. But yeah, get past all of that stuff. Right? And then when you get to the search area, I need you to pull up, and we'll all do the same company. Let's just do GE. How about that? All right, so put in the ticker symbol GE, hit search, and then you'll see it. Matter of fact, do you guys need me to demonstrate it?
No, you got GE Aerospace is the first one.
Yep. Yeah, and then, so you got it? Everybody got it? You got GE up? Messina, you good over there?
That's because I'm all right.
Okay. All right. Everybody else good? Yes, no? Okay, all right. So here we go. Follow the prompts on the screen, right? So we're on Trading View. You typed in GE. You should have GE up, and it should come when you get to the GE screen. It should have it where you see the graph of how it did today. Okay, it's on there.
You want us to launch chart or see overview?
See overview. Always see overview. We're not ready for charts yet. Okay. See overview. Okay. All right, everybody there? Okay, here we go. Then you want to scroll down. You want to go to financials. You got to find the financials tab. Hit financials. Okay, you got it? Okay. All right, and this is an open book test, so it's okay to help each other. Right? It's okay. It's all right. Ain't nobody getting in trouble. Y'all can share information. All right. And I'm just telling you, the rest of our time tonight, we're gonna be deep in the computers, and you're gonna be all over Trading View. And I'm going to need you to go home and practice it, because the only way you get better at this is you have to do it. You got, like, there's no magical, easy, like, oh, I could just, no. You have to do it. You got to get used to seeing the information. You got to get used to moving around on the stuff. Okay? All right. Miss Hope, you got it? Come on now. You good? Okay. So, did everybody click on financials? Okay. Then I want you to click on statements. Okay. Everybody clicked on statements? Okay. Then I want you to click on balance sheet. Okay. Click on balance sheet. All right. I told you guys last week, all of this stuff, like this the good stuff here. We in here looking for gold. And what's interesting is this, like, companies can't hide this stuff. Right? All this is public information. We sitting at church. We're sitting at church, right? It's public information. The problem is nobody told us where to go, right? So here we go. Financial statements, click balance sheet. You got balance sheet? Yeah. Okay. So then I want you to go, you should see something that says total assets. I want you to click the arrow to the left, and then it'll open it up. Yes, sir.
Be an annual or quarterly?
You want to be in...
Default is quarterly.
Yeah, quarterly's fine. You should be good. Okay. So click the arrow to the left of total assets. It should break it down, and once it opens it up, you should see total current assets. You see that? Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to go all the way to the right. Okay, all the way to the right, and it'll be like Q3 or Q4 or something like that of 2025. Okay, and then you want to write down that number. Right, you want to write down that number. Because that's your total current assets. You want to write down that number. Okay, and that is of Q3 in 2025, total current assets, right? So you want to work with as as current information as you can get. Okay? So, total current assets. Everybody with me? Then I want you to go down under that, and you should see total liabilities. I want you to do the same thing. Click on the arrow to the left. It'll drop down, and then you will see total current liabilities. Go same thing all the way to the right, and then write down that number, and then subtract the liabilities from the assets. You got to do the math, and then tell me what you come out with. Assets. Yep. Total current liabilities from total current assets. Yeah. Subtract the liabilities. Yeah, if you got a negative number, you didn't do it right. See, right here? Total current assets, 40.07 billion. Total current liabilities, 37.20 billion. And you subtract that. You take the assets, and then you pull out the liabilities. They positive. Right. Right. Okay. We good? Everybody got it? I'm over here chewing. I don't know if that's getting on the microphone or not. It sounds like somebody chewing at church. Yeah, it's me. Huh? Yeah. Okay. So, at the end of the day, so far, GE got a little money. Right? Okay. We good. Okay? Everybody got it? Everybody there? We all tracking? I love it. Okay, here we go. Let's do another one. Right? I don't want to move to the next ratio until we get this down. This time, I'm not going to tell you where to go or how to do it. I just want you to do it. I'm going to just give you the company. Okay? NVIDIA, NVDA. Yep.
You want the US version or the Jersey?
Huh? Say what?
Because there's NVIDIA Corp US dollar, and then there's...
No, you always want the, yeah, that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says NASDAQ, right? Yeah, that's it.
Then we go to statement.
Mm-hmm. Drew, you good? You keep getting kicked out? You be what? Oh, for real? Okay. So you already know. They're in the green. Right. Prince saying that they're in the green. Hmm. I don't know why they don't teach this stuff in school. They need to.
No, because they don't want us all to keep playing with them.
Did it?
Honors, yeah. You got a whole like dummy account.
Oh,
5 things that you can invest in.
really?
It was like kind of know a little something.
That's dope.
But yeah, it was for like it's only a semester long. So
Oh,
everybody was saying like they like pick one. Everybody at the time was thinking like Walmart,
right, right,
Apple,
right.
like everybody was really like Walmart.
Yeah,
Like basic.
Maybe it depends on what type of class you take.
that's dope. I like that.
Gotta be going to the class.
Right, yeah, right. And it was an honors class, so it wasn't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That thing need to be for everybody.
If you're not paying attention, you can easily get lost and then be like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then if you don't, so different. Yeah. And if you didn't have a good teacher to explain it, ooh, terrible. Right, right. Yeah, computers have made things so much easier. That's why I don't know how y'all do it without a computer, Benita. I just don't get it. No, you're fine. Okay.
it takes you to the updated quarter. So when you like pull it up, like you have to follow it.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So how's NVIDIA doing? Very well. Okay. Let's do one more. Meta. META. That's Facebook. All right. So we'll do Meta, and then we'll go to the next ratio. Are you already advancing to the other ratios? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's the easy one, but I want people to. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, once you learn the fundamentals and how to get it, you good to go. You do. Hmm. You gotta have some capital. They good too. Mm, hmm.
Good noticing that one.
Yeah. Okay. How's Meta?
It's in the positive.
All right. How's Meta doing? Are you doing all right? Okay. All right, here we go. Y'all ready for the next one? Okay, go ahead. Got the scholar corner over here. Right. Dave, how you doing back there? Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why yeah, I need somebody who know Excel, no Excel, like say it, because then this will make this so much easier or quicker. Okay. All right, here we go. So the next one, let me go back to my thing. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So the next one is earnings per share. Okay. EPS, earnings per share. Everybody with me? Okay. So, yep, that's what we're about to look up. We're about to look up EPS. Okay. Of the company. Yep. And so, on your handout, you have to see it as the amount of money you get for every slice of the pie. Okay. So, in other words, this is how much money the company makes per share. Right? So for every share, this is how much the company makes. Okay? And you need to know this number. Right? You'll hear companies, if you listen to stock market analysts, if you listen to CNBC and all these people who talk about stocks, they kind of throw these terms around. You know, the EPS is blah 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 blah, and then the weighted EPS, and they throw all these things around, and they talk again. It's a whole new language you have to learn, and you got to get used to listening to the language of money. And the reason why is because people have created this language of money in order to keep regular people out of the money. Okay? And so earnings per share. And so what you do not want here is you do not want negative numbers. Okay? You don't want negative numbers. Why? Because a negative number indicates that the company isn't making any money. Right? We don't want a company that don't make money. That's not what we want. Right? We want a company that makes some money. Now, let me just say this, you can invest in companies that don't make money. These are riskier plays. Right? And people like them because they're cheaper. Right? You can get into them for pennies on the dollar, sometimes for pennies, right? It's a whole nother stock market called OTC. It's called over the counter, which means penny stocks. And there are people who invest and make a lot of money in penny stocks. There's another type of stock. It's not a type of stock. It's a stage of stock called IPO, right? It's initial public offering. It's when a company is about to go public and they're about to make shares available to the public to purchase. I think Facebook, Meta, when it went public, I want to say their shares were like $25. Do you remember? Something like that. I want to say, hold on. Meta. Let's see. Meta, let's go back to overview. I'm going to just do a quick look up right quick. All time. Boom, let's go back here. Yeah, there's like 29, 24, 20. Yeah, so it says $29, but it's not accurate. This is all-time history. But yeah, so they were in like the $20 range, something like that. How much is Facebook today? Meta, how much is it today? $615, right? And so there were people who were investing. There were people who were investing in Meta before it went public, and these were called pre-IPO shares. And so there's companies that give stock to their employees and all that. Is again pre-IPO shares. Sometimes you can get in on a company when they go public, and sometimes you can get in when the stock prices are really low, that kind of thing. But the problem is they don't have any history, right? You can't do fundamentals on them because they don't have any history. You don't know if it's making money yet or not, right? And a lot of times companies will spend 4 or 5 years not making any money at all, and then and that's their model. Their model is not to make money for about 5 years, and then they're looking to be profitable in the 6th year. So you can invest in companies like that where their EPS is negative. The problem with that, right, is that it's much more risky, right? Your money is it's in a much more risky situation. And so a part of what I'm trying to teach you, and I'll show you, we'll talk more about the risky stuff, but what I'm trying to teach you guys is how to be safe. How to make money and how to be safe, right? That's the first thing I'm trying to teach y'all is how to make money and how to be safe, right? Listen, because it's a dime. You got a dime a dozen risky stocks out there, and everybody thinks their risky stock is about to be the next NVIDIA, right? And you got people advertising and, I called this, I said this, I told this, blah, blah, blah. And they want you to sign up with them and pay them their little monthly fee or whatever, and they're going to give you the stock quotes and whatever. And then out of the 99 that fail, they're going to take the one that skyrocketed, and then that's what they advertise, right? So just know you can invest in it, but it's more risky. Yes, sir.
No, I was going to ask an analogy, but I think I figured it. Like, it's like in basketball with the NBA right now,
Mm-hmm.
especially after COVID,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people who are like, all right, cool, I don't want a high school kid, right, or like a first year college student. Let me go get the guy from overseas who's been playing since he was 15 in the men's league.
Mm.
Because he's got all this history of him playing consistently
Mm-hmm.
at a higher level. Whereas with the kid in the U.S. who's going to be in college, you don't really know how he's going to be at that higher level.
Yeah, he's pre-IPO. Yes, sir. Yep.
Just a suggestion, another really good sheet that you should do
Mm-hmm.
would be like a risk to reward sheet.
Yeah.
It says, if the stock was here, here's how much percentage of my account that I should spend at this time where this is at.
Mm-hmm.
Where a lot of people don't realize is that the people that spend the most on these risky stocks, there's an angel investor that's willing to say $1 million
Mm-hmm.
That's the whale. That's the competition you're up against.
Right.
But it really comes down to how much money you have in your account versus what you're looking at the time. The timing is like the biggest part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And we'll get into that as well, which is risk management, right? Is because that's one of the things that you don't want to do is you don't want to trade over a certain percentage of what's in your account, right? And I actually recommend like we should have some risky stocks in our account, it just shouldn't be a large percentage of the portfolio, right? Yeah. So, I got a couple of risky ones in mine. But like they may be sitting on like $1,000. You know what I mean? I'm not putting, 50 racks over there. You know what I mean? So hopefully that makes sense. Good point, Drew. Good point. All right, here we go. So EPS. All right, let's go EPS. So earnings per share. So how do you find the earnings per share? Go to TradingView. Then I want you to go to financial. Same click.
We still on Meta, right?
Huh?
Still on Meta.
Oh, yeah, I got to give you a company, huh?
Yeah.
Let's do let's do Meta. Be good. Let's do Meta. Okay? So you want to go to financials. And then after financials, you want to click on statements. And then you want to scroll down to net income.
Net income before discounted operations or
There should be one that just says net income.
Below that, two below that.
net income. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let me give you a couple of terms. When you see YOY, that means year over year. Okay? So you want to scroll down until you see net incomes. Everybody see it? Okay? And then when you get to net income, you want to write down the TTM amount. All the way to the right, there's a TTM amount. TTM means trailing trailing 12 months, right? So it's going to give you, that's the number over the course of a year. Okay? Trailing 12 months. All right, you got that? Okay? Then,
Wait a minute. What does it say? What's the TTM mean?
trailing 12 months. I don't think I finished this slide. Let's see. Let's see if I finished it. I think I did. Okay, here we go. So then, you want to go back up. You want to scroll back up, and then you want to click on the statistics tab.
Do we need to take the figure from the net income?
The TTM.
Yes, the TTM number.
We
Mm-hmm.
and now we scroll up to where?
To the statistics tab.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Okay, everybody got that? And then you want to scroll down to total common shares outstanding. Got it? And then you want to write down the current amount. No. You want to go, just turn around. Right? Statistics. And then once you hit statistics tab, scroll down to the total common shares outstanding. Right? So I know all this is accurate because I sat at home and did every one of these today. Right? I was like, okay, let me get out of the mode of doing what I do. And let me chart it, right? So I was like, okay, so I had to write down the instructions.
Are you going to send it to us?
I can send it to you. Okay. Yeah, it's right here. You can take a photo. All right. So you want to scroll to total common shares outstanding, and then you want to write down the current amount. Right? Write down the current amount. Total shares outstanding. Then you want to do the math. And so it is the net income divided by the total shares outstanding. Okay? Total income divided by the total shares outstanding. That will give you the EPS, the earnings per share. There's the language. All right. Come on, Rosanna, mathematician. Did y'all see that it's like a little comedy thing where this dude, he was saying he went to apply for a job, and then the guy was like, who was interviewing him, he was like what are you, he said I'm looking at your resume, and it says you're really quick with math. And the guy said, yeah, I'm very quick with math. And he said, what's 384 divided by by 25? And the guy was like, 78. And he was like, that's totally wrong. And he was like, but it was fast. It was quick. And the guy was like, yeah, you're right, you're hired. That's hilarious. All right. Everybody have it? Did everybody do it? Did you do it? Drew. She needs your help. What you mean, what time is it? It's time to learn. You want to make some money? You want to make some money? Come on. All right. So, and this is another one. We don't want any negative numbers. Correct? Right? We don't want triple N's. No negative numbers. Right? No negative numbers. Right? Nada negativo numero. Was that right? Was that right?
I speak English too.
Oh, see, because I heard you speak before, so that's why I'm asking. Because I don't
Tell
speak.
me in English what you want to say.
No negative numbers.
Ninguna número negativa.
Say it.
Ninguna
Numero
negativa.
negativa. Oh, so the negative comes after the
Spanish is supposed to be spoken backwards when we translate it back into English. That's what's
Oh, got it.
I think in English, so I speak incorrectly too.
Really?
See?
You speak Spanish too? Well, obviously. Is she right?
Oh, gracias. I did it.
No, is she right in terms of no negative numbers, what she said? Okay.
Made me think real hard. It's so late.
It's just like if you say White House, it's house white.
Casablanco. Oh, Blanca,
Say White House.
Blanco Casa?
Casablanca.
Casa.
Casablanca, house white. You see?
Yeah, Casablanca. Okay.
Translate it back in English.
Okay. Yeah. 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 There's huh?
Becoming linguist.
Coming to linguists, financial linguists, Spanish linguists. Okay. Come on, y'all lean your hands over this way and pray for Messina, that the Holy Spirit to let her get it. She over there working.
Girl, you was deep. I know, but I'm struggling. No, you doing I can learn this stuff better in the morning, like nighttime.
Yeah,
Anytime after 6:37, I can rap.
from numbers to Spanish.
I know. All right, so let's do another company. Let's try GE. Right? Let's try. No, let's do a different company. Let's do Camtech. CAMT. Right? Yep, CAMT. Camtech. We're going to do the EPS.
And then we're going to overview? No, overview. Okay, click, just click. Something slow. Okay. Now scroll down.
How come black people can't say statistics? See, look at it. Yeah, yeah. Right, right.
Is the 4577?
I forget what I blended. I forget what I blended. Mm-hmm. I know it's
So 4577.
no. So this one is ginger, lemon, apples. It's yellow bell pepper. It's actually good. Yes. Yep. Yep. Oh, and some grapes, just for sweetness. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute, no. Here it is.
You did?
I want to show you. It's on here.
Okay. Okay. Listen, y'all cooking. Y'all cooking. So now I want you to look up Camtech on your trading view and tell me how they're doing this year so far, and how well are they doing just over time. Just tell me how they doing. Good. They fine. Yep. I just bought some shares of Camtech. Oh, there's one we need to do. Yeah. Just go back to the chart.
But how long? Do you want 10 years, 5 years? Oh, all time.
How well are they doing in 5 years?
5 years, 441.65%.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Overview, and then you look. You look when you see the chart. You just go under the chart, pick a time frame, and the time frames will tell you how well they're doing.
What answer you guys get? 1.05?
Yeah.
1.05? What are we looking at now?
The dividend history, that what we're looking at?
Not the dividend history. The yeah. How well is Camtech doing over 5 years?
Annual quarterly. Financial position analysis.
We're looking at the.
Just go to the overview,
Okay, overview.
and then right where the graph is, you just go down, and it'll show you different time frames. It's right at the bottom of the graph.
5 years is 441.65%.
Okay, so in 5 years, they're up 441%
Yeah.
0.65.
in 5 years. What about 1 year?
It's 47.97%.
What about 6 months?
43.99.
Okay.
Okay, go.
What's the year to date?
Oh, that's 1.9. Oh, no, that's
20.24.
oh, yeah.
So year to date, from January 1st to today, Camtech is up 21%. Where do you get 21% on your money? I'm telling you, that's why I love this stuff.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. Yes. Numbers always are telling the truth. Unless you got a human reporting them wrong. Other than that, they tell. Huh? What was the what? Dave is asking.
1.05. Yeah, 1.05.
Okay.
You round it up. You round it up.
Bird, how you doing? You working on it? Okay. All right.
The total shares, what was the billion?
All right, Drew, keep working with them. I'm gonna move the group ahead, and then I'm gonna come back to y'all. Okay. All right. No, you good. You good. This all of trust me, all of this is new. Okay, here we go. Yes.
That was a clarifying question.
Uh-huh.
What Brother Dave was bringing up was that the total shares outstanding was what was that, the billion? Was the million, and the other one was a billion. Does that make a difference? in
Oh,
how you
yeah.
calculate, or-
Oh yeah.
So when we divided it, and we got our number, like what number is that 1.045 million? Or is it 1.045 billion?
You would have to divide. You would have to do the total. For me to understand it, yeah, you would have to do the total number of zeros and then do it, and then it'll tell you. Yeah.
We're just gonna assume it's good, or what do you think?
Yeah. Long as it's positive, it's good. But if you want to know the exact number, no. What? Hold on. Look, I'll tell you. What's the total? So for Camtech, what is the what's the net income?
47.83 million.
47.83. So 478. Wait, what? Say it again.
47.83 million.
47.83 million. So that would be 47,830,000.
Well, the net growth said a million, right? The net growth was a million,
Oh,
right?
right. Oh, the
Because 47.83 is 47,000,083. So I'm thinking 83 is 830,000. So it's 47,830,000 divided by all shares outstanding. 45 what? Point
It's million, it's for 45 point
is million?
7 million.
Okay, 45 77. Okay, so then that would be 45,770,000, and when you do the math, it's 1.04. 1.04. Yeah, so you got it right. Yeah, you guys got it right. And that number is not million or billion. Yeah, yeah. Oh, got you. Got you. Okay. All right, here we go. So we're going to go to the next one. Next one is the price earnings ratio. Okay? The price per earning ratio. Okay? Now, the bottom line, this is the number, the price per earnings ratio. Wait, hold on. What did I do? Hold on, what did I do? Okay. So the price per earnings ratio, this is the number that tells you how much you're paying for $1 of the company's profit. Okay? This is how much money you're paying for $1 of the company's profit. Okay? So let's say you do the calculation and the calculation comes out to, let's say the calculation is $12, right? Or let's say it's $10, right? So you're paying $10 for every $1 of profit from the company. Okay? So you pay $10 to make one. You pay $10 to make one. You pay $10 to make one. Does that make sense? Right? So you pay $100 to make how much? $10. Okay? Cash it out, you got $110. Right? And so now, if you had let's say you have two companies in the same industry, and one company is their price to earnings ratio is $10, but then you have another company and their price to earnings ratio is $50. So now you pay $50 to make $1. You probably want to opt for the one $10, right? Because you can make the same $1 and put up less money. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So this is a number that's pretty important to know. Okay. And so what you want to do is you want to get the price per share. So I want you to look up. Let's look up. Y'all give me a company this time. Look up Tesla. Okay. TSLA. Look up Tesla, and I want you to write down the price per share. Okay. That's the first thing you write down. Price per share.
Is that under financials?
No, it should. As soon as you look it up, it should be right there on your face.
$39.20.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you write that down, and then what you do is you divide that by the. Wait, hold on. We didn't do it right because we would have to do the earnings per share for Tesla. So since we did the earnings per share for Camtech, let's do Camtech. Go to Camtech again and write down the price per share. Sorry about that. We'll do Tesla on the next thing. Okay, so what is the price per share for Camtech? There we go. It's 132 what? 192. Okay, so write that down. Okay, and then you want to divide that. Wait, hold on. Hold. I think I totally messed up. Which companies did we do earnings per share? EPS. We did Camtech? Okay, all right. So whatever number you got for earnings per share, you want to divide the share price by the earnings per share number. And that will tell you how much you're paying per $1 of that stock. Okay? Yeah. Think so? You all right, Bird? What's the matter? What's the matter? So what I'll do on the debt equity, I'll do a live debt equity, and everybody can follow. And then if I need to go back, we'll go back. Is good. Okay. Okay, so I want you guys to do the PE, price earnings, and you got it. You started off right. That's the thing. Now, what's the earnings? What's the earnings per share? Did you do that one? Okay. Can you guys give Bird and Messina the earnings per share for Camtech? What is the EPS? Okay. Okay, that's the EPS. And then for the PE, all you want to do is you want to take the earnings per share and divide it by that. Got it? Hmm? All right. What'd you guys get? Okay. So roughly you pay $127 for $1 of Camtech stock. Okay? Of their stock.
So then, wouldn't that go in as a discounted price under that 132, so that's a good thing?
Okay, here's the thing about price to earnings ratios. Price to earnings ratios are difficult because you have to do more work to understand the number. And here's what I mean. What you have to do with the price to earnings ratio to know if it's a good number or a bad number, because there's no standard good number and there's no standard bad number. You have to compare it to other companies. Okay? And so and you can't compare it to any old company. You have to compare it to a competitor in the same field, like companies. Yeah. And so, like, yes, like comparing comps. And the reason why is because when you're able to figure out the price to earnings ratio, you're able to tell whether or not the company is overvalued or undervalued. Right? So if you have 5 companies that all kind of roughly in the same thing, and one company's price to earnings ratio is $10, another company is 22, another company is 5, another company is 150. Right? You have a lot to compare. And you got to figure out, like, why is the price to earnings ratio, why is that so high over here, and then why is it so low over here? And a lot of times that has to do with because the ones that's higher is probably because the price of the stock is higher than the companies where the price to earnings ratio is lower. And the company could be overvalued, right? It could be that people are paying too much money for the stock. Right? So let me give you one that everybody is worried about. Okay? Look up PLTR. Okay? This is a beast of a company. It's pretty much in a league of its own. Everybody thinks this company is going to the moon. And they are properly poised and positioned to take advantage of all of this military stuff. Right, they're at 178.40. But I want you to scroll down, and I want you to look at what their price to earnings ratio is. TTM, trailing 12 months. What is their price to earnings? $418.52. What that's telling you is you spend $418.52 for $1 of their profit. And so people, there's a lot of people who are really nervous about Palantir. And they're nervous about Palantir because they're saying this thing is trading at 800 times value. And what they're saying is because they're running the numbers, they're doing what we're doing. And when they look at that number, they're like, "Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute." And there's a lot, but people invest in this thing like crazy. And I get why the price to earnings ratio is up, because the stock has, like, when you look at, if you go back up under the chart, it's up 600% in 5 years. Right? So the stock has run to it took off, like, just a year ago, almost a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. This stock was less than $10. Right? So if you go to 2025, right? If you look in 2024. So in July 2024, it's like $28, $30-something, $35. in August or whatnot. Yeah, hold on. I still got my, I still have my, my what you call it up. So hold on one second. Boom. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's a software company, but what they do is, and the CEO, Alex Cart, he's a beast. And he liked to talk stuff too. But anyway, so yeah, so here we go. So watch this. So in March 30th of 2025, the stock was hovering around 74 bucks. Right? But if you go back to January 2025, it was at 67. If you go back to October 2024, it was at 41. Right? If you go back to July 2024, the stock was at 24 bucks. Right? And so I know there's people I know who got in when the stock was back here, like about a year ago, 2 years ago. And they got in when the stock was like 14 bucks. Right? And this stock has skyrocketed, and people have made millions off of this. And because it's so hot, because the industry they're in, they really have no competition. The stock price is like crazy, and it's way overvalued the number it's overvalued. But people don't care. People just don't care. Right? This stock reminds me of Tesla. Tesla is like it is a super weird stock because it doesn't matter what Tesla reports, it's going up. It's crazy. It comes back down, it swings, but man, like Tesla people, the investors, and I've said it for years, investing in Tesla is really not, I don't think, people are not investing in Tesla. People are investing in Elon. And that's why it's hard to understand Tesla stock. Because there's people I know who do this stuff like for real, and they be looking at Tesla like, I don't get it. I don't get why they are where they are. Like, China is whooping them to death in electric vehicle sales. Their electric vehicle sales are down. You got Elon doing all the political stuff nobody likes. You got people setting Teslas on fire. It's not about the car. It's not about the car. And that's what I'm saying. People are investing in Elon, so the company itself doesn't make sense from an investor standpoint, but it makes a lot of money. It makes people a lot of money, right? And PLTR is kind of like that. It's one of those companies that like people invest in and they just continue sinking money in it, and the valuation of it is just 418 for a PE? Huh? That's I'm gonna let Drew find it because that'll be like a 20-minute conversation for me because I'm gonna want to explain all the details, and I know me, and y'all know me, right? Because yeah. All right. And so, but let's do this. I'm gonna give you guys one more, and then we'll get out of here. Okay. So I thought I did this. Okay. Okay, so we just did price to earnings ratio, right? Okay, so Camtech came out okay, right? All right, here we go. So how much, not okay, but they're still high, right? Okay, let's do, what other company did we do earnings per share? Meta? Let's do Meta. Let's do price to earnings on Meta. So what is Meta's stock price and what was the earning per share on Meta, and then you do the math and you come up with their PE. Meta. You want to find out for price to earnings ratio? You want to find out, because this one is easy. What is the price per share? And you divide that by the earnings per share, which you already have.
Is this thing right here best or no? No?
That's the estimate. But somebody give Messina the earnings per share for Meta. You did it.
I just need to know where to find it so I can,
Oh,
I can stop feeding me and I can.
that was the previous step. I just don't want you to have to go through the whole previous step.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you did it already. You did Meta, right?
Yeah, I did better with
Yeah.
half of it. It is.
Okay.
Confusing part in this slide,
Yeah.
where you say do the math, you're not giving me, or on the slide that they were looking at, it's not saying
Doing the formula. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll put the formula on there. Because I thought it would be covered because it's on the sheet, but I guess trying to go from one to the yeah. Yes.
22.92. 22.92. This is my first day of class.
Oh, gotcha. Come on, Bird. I need you to do it. Don't conk out on me. You got it? Okay. Okay, good. Good. Listen, they finished. Y'all still working. They finished. Hey, yeah. The price per share, divide that by the earnings per share, and then you should get the PE ratio, price to earnings ratio. That's all right. Don't give up.
You jacked up now. I came in jacked.
You don't have the, you didn't have the, 58.53 billion divided by 2.18? You didn't have that? Okay, and then that came out to 26.85.
oh, okay, got it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. And then you take that,
I just didn't know which one was met on my paper. Okay.
See, you good.
I'm back.
You back. You back.
Anita, I keep coming over. She ain't gonna help me, because she has stuff scattered in her.
Well, I got it together now.
Okay, you got it together now?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait a minute, I just wrote down Meta's, that stuff on my cheat sheet over here. Not in my big one. You got it, Bird.
Okay, here we go. So you guys follow me on this one, okay? Okay, here we go. So we're going to go Meta, right, on the screen. Okay, this is a side. I just somewhere on your paper, I want you to write down earnings. Just write down the title earnings. Okay, because you need to know how to check this.
So what do we write?
Just write earnings. Okay, you need to know how to check this. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go. So every quarter, every company has to report what they call earnings, which is a report of how the company has done in the past quarter. You good? Inside of the earnings report, most companies do what's called forward guidance. The forward guidance is where the company talks about what they expect in the future. Okay? If a company has an earnings call, or they call it an earnings call, if they have an earnings call, so there's two things. The company has a projected amount that they previously said they were going to do in terms for the next quarter. But the stock market, the market, has an estimate of what it thinks the company should do. The market doesn't care about what the company said it would do. The market only cares if the company met what the market said it would do. You got to know that. So when I talk about the stock market, I talk about it like it's a person. Okay? So the market, so so for instance, let's say it's, they don't care what you project. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Exactly. Exactly. Right? So the market puts an expectation on every company. And the market says, y'all should be here by this time. And if the company meets that or beats that, it normally works out well for the company after earnings. If the company doesn't beat that, it normally doesn't work out well after earnings. But the company also does forward guidance. So they'll talk about how they did for the quarter. We did this, we knocked this out, we killed it, we beat. But then they say, but in the next quarter, we're expecting a slight slowdown of revenue due to blah, 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 blah. Even though they have hit on everything else, chances are when the market opens, investors are going to start dumping the stock. And the stock is going to go down. Why? Because the stock market always looks forward. It don't care about yesterday. It don't care about today. It only cares about what's ahead. Right? So even if a company beats all earnings, that's good, right? You want your company to do good. And the stock market only cares about yesterday if they think that what happened yesterday will happen tomorrow. But if the company did really, 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 really well, but it don't look like it's going to do that well tomorrow, the company don't care about what it just did. The market don't care about what it just did. The market is going to dump it. Okay? And so you need to know how to pick companies based on, and you also not based on, but you want to look at their earnings. You want to see how well your company is doing. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so here we go. So we're going to check earnings, right? Let's check meta earnings. Okay? So, and sometimes a company can do well, and for whatever reason, it depends on the news and what's happening and all that, because sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with their forward guidance and it ain't got nothing to do with their performance. Sometimes Trump makes a tweet. Right? He just make a tweet. And he could make a tweet about something, and even after earnings, and it's right. So it just depends. And sometimes he can make a tweet and right. So give you an example. Trump tweeted. He made a statement, I think. He said he came out and he said it was something about the defense stuff. He was like, defense, what was it? It was he wanted defense contractors. What did he say? Defense contractors should not take their profits and turn them around and give them as dividends to their shareholders. I want to put a 1 year. I want to put a 1 year freeze on defense companies taking their dividends and giving them to their shareholders for their profits and giving them to shareholders as a dividend payout. And he just said that, right? After the market, all the defensive stocks. Then he came out the next day and finished his sentence. The same day. He came out later that day and finished his sentence. The sentence was, because we're going to pump $1.5 trillion into defense spending, and you need to gear up for that. And after market, the same companies that all of a sudden, right? Just like, and the next day, right? They just, right? And so again, sometimes it has nothing to do. It could just be nothing to do with the company's performance. It could be a tweet, right? But by and large, you need to pay attention to earnings. Okay. So here we go. Here's how you do that. So everybody got Meta up? Okay. So what you do is you scroll down, right? And you keep scrolling, and you come to this, right? You come to this. On the right side, it says earnings. You see that? Okay. You see earnings? Okay. Okay. All right. And so the first thing it gives you is it tells you when their next earnings call will be. Okay. Their next earnings call is going to be on February the 4th. Okay? Yep. All right. Now, the way you understand this is everybody should be on quarterly. Okay? And so you have Q4 of 2024. So it's going back a year. Okay? So Q4 of 2024, if you hover over these two things right here, it'll bring up this data box. Okay? So this data box tells you this was January 29th, 2025, okay? The estimate, right, this is what the market estimated, is that they should be making $6.76 per share, right, earnings per share at that time. And that's represented by this hollow circle.
Is that the profit that they're supposed to be making?
Yes. Okay? But there you go. They actually made $8.02. And so it gave the market a 1.26 surprise. That's a good surprise. Right? Right? It's a good surprise. Same thing with this one. April 30th. Right? They surprising. Notice the surprise. 1.20 surprise. 1.26 surprise. And then when you come here, another in July, a 1.26 surprise. Right? So they beat on average by 1.26 on average. Right? 1.25, 1.26, something like that. Okay? But then you get here to Q3. And they missed. This is called a miss, right? And so they missed, and they were estimated to do 6.72. They actually did. So they had a surprise of 5 point. All right? That is the question. Because the answer to that question determines whether or not Meta is still investable. Okay? And so what happened during this time is that, Yeah, so what happened during this time is that Meta had a tremendously huge IRS payment they needed to make. And they made it, but it cut into their profits. The thing, though, is that if they would not have made that payment, they would have beat again. So in the upcoming earnings, February 4th, there is no payment that they have made. So the expectation is they'll beat again. But ever since they missed, stock went down like $100, and it's been going down. That's what me. Yeah. That's why. Yes. That's why. Because if you understand what happened in the earnings miss, but you see they got a load of cash, and they got good earnings per share, and you go down your list, you can say, oh, they got the sniffles. This is not cancer. This is, you know what I mean? This is, It's still a healthy company, right? And yes, and that's when you go into 10%, 20%, 30%, right? And then you figure out, okay, how do I position myself here to pick up some shares, because I'm dealing with a healthy company that had a pullback because of an event, not because something's wrong with the company. Does that make sense? Right? And so Meta right now, they're kind of doing what they call consolidating. They're like in a particular frame in which they've been moving, and lately they've been going down, right? And so I don't know how low they'll go. If they get back down to the 500 mark, I'm definitely going back in. I told Benita when to get in. We were going back and forth, and I was like, Benita, I probably should buy right here, right? And did you buy? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So you made a little bit of money so far, yeah. And so, and again, it's gonna go up, come back down, go up, come back down. But everybody knows that Meta is on their way to being $1,000 stock. Everybody knows that. Nobody doubts that, right? It's just a matter of time. Right? You let the market do what it does. It goes up, comes back down, goes up, comes back down. You just let it do what it does. Now, what you want to do is you want to try to find companies, if you're going to invest in companies, you want to find companies that beat earnings. You don't want companies that never beat earnings, right? You want them to beat earnings. And then if you find a company that miss earnings, you want to find out why they miss, especially if it's a miss like this. Right? Because they're doing so well, and then all of a sudden, it's huge miss. LaShara asked the right question. What happened? Right? And that what happened will tell you whether or not the company has a problem or whether or not it's just something that happened. Okay? Now, here's the next part. If you want more information, go back up. Go back up with me. And then I want you to click financials, and then I want you to click earnings. and then scroll down. Okay. And this will give you a little bit. This will kind of give you the same information, just in a little bit more broken down fashion. It'll give you the details of the numbers, and it gives you like a little graph in which to kind of understand it. And then it breaks it down into two different earnings, right? Because in earnings, whenever a company reports earnings, everybody's looking for two things. Number one, revenue, which is money coming into the business, and the money coming into the business, is that growing? Right? So if you brought in $1 million last year, doesn't mean you made $1 million. What it means is $1 million came into the door, right? That's revenue. It's money that's coming in. And so next quarter, if your revenue was $800,000, you're going to miss on revenue. And that signals to the investor they're not doing as much business. There's not as much money coming in, which is not a good sign. So in earnings calls, everybody is looking for revenue because they want to see, $1 million. Oh, and then last quarter we did $1.5 million. Oh, and then, next quarter we want to do $1.8 million. And then next quarter we want to do 2.1. And the next quarter, right? So investors want to see that grow. So because that means more money is coming in, more revenue, more customers, more people, right? It shows the growth of the company. And then so that's revenue, and then EPS, which is what we just did. Earnings per share. Is your earnings per share growing? Right? Which means, right, if your earnings per share is growing, how much money is the company making per share? Is the company making money? Is it profitable? That's what all investors want to know, that in an earnings call. Does that make sense? Right? And so this kind of gives it to you like this. The first one we looked at just told you about the earnings overall. This one breaks it down and it tells you EPS and it tells you revenue, right? So if you check out the revenue side of Meta, they hit on revenue. They missed on EPS. Does that make sense? All right. And so, again, that's information you need to know. Okay? Now, let me show you this and we're out. Because I'm going to give you some homework. Here we go. Boom. Boom. Okay. All right, here we go. This is what's called an earnings calendar. Is everybody with me? Okay. This is what's called an earnings calendar. Okay. And you can find them all over the place. I like earnings whisperers. And I have an account here, but I don't know how to get the earnings calls to look like this, so I steal them from people that have it. Right? I belong to several investment groups, so people will take them and they'll post them in there. So tomorrow, right? This is the earnings calendar for this week, which means all of these companies are reporting this week. Okay? So today, before the market opened, Wells Fargo reported, Citibank reported, Bank of America reported, InfoSystems, and United Community. So this week, there's a lot of banking people that are reporting. Tomorrow morning, before the market closed, I'm telling you right now, this is going to determine a lot in the market tomorrow. Why? Because you have TSM reporting. We talked about them. You have Morgan Stanley reporting. You have Goldman Sachs. Big dogs. report. Then you have, what is BlackRock? BlackRock is the largest investment. That thing is huh? They're not a conglomerate. They're just huge. They're a behemoth. BlackRock, I think is BlackRock has more money invested than anybody. I think they got more than Vanguard, State Street, anybody. They have more money under management than any other firm in the world. BlackRock is huge. In fact, I don't know if you just heard Trump come out saying, we need to stop all these companies from buying all these houses. Because that's what BlackRock does. Right? They're just going to wait. They got the money. Yeah, they just wait you out. That's right. Yes. Huh? Yep. Yep. Because probably one of these. Yes. Yes. And so, yeah. So anyway, so all of these people are reporting tomorrow, and these are huge. They're huge, right? Yeah. And so I'll be up early, about 5:30, tuning in, and I'll be tuning in probably. I have a contract on TSM. I'm not worried about them. I'm up over 200% on my contract, so I'm good. And I think they're gonna blow it out. I'm stuck here though. I have a contract on Goldman Sachs. I've never lost money with them, but right now I'm down about $1,400. And these cats print money. Y'all ain't hearing me. I bought some of their shares. I forget how many shares I bought, but I bought some of their shares when they were at like $600. That thing at like $900 some right now. And I bought them shares last year. This thing, Goldman Sachs moves like a tech stock. And they've never split. That's another one of my cheat codes I'm going to give y'all. I love to invest in companies that move like crazy but have never split. I love companies like that. Why? Because I want to position myself that if they ever split, I take full advantage of the split. And if they don't split, we can ride that thing up the same way Warren Buffett rode up Berkshire. Right? So anyway, here's your homework. Your homework is, and I probably should have done this a while ago, but your homework is, man, I don't even know if I can give it. Here's what I want for you to do. I can't tell you guys to be up early in the morning finding these calls. I mean, you can if you want. There's this it's like a software. I think it's called Q4. It's free. If you subscribe to it, I think it's called Q4. If you subscribe to it, it's an easier way to listen to earnings calls. And the way you do it is that you just go to, you would go to like Goldman Sachs. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up and show you. Goldman Sachs. It's like a software that you subscribe to listen to earnings calls. Let's see, investor relations. Earnings call. Ah, man, I should have looked this up before. I'm sorry, guys. I should have looked it up before to make it easier. The dates above on the press release, which will be available. Now, I want to show you how to listen to it. Where you see that? I can't. I haven't gotten there yet.
The first, second link, and then there's a phone number.
Right there.
That's an audio webcast.
Call to discuss financial results. But that'll be after the call, because the market opens at 6:30, which is 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So they're going to do it before 9:30. And I want, if you guys are interested, if you're up, I want you guys to be on the live call. Just so, again, a part of that is just so that you can listen in and hear what they talking about. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that one, yeah. Thank you, LaShar. Boom. Yep. The market opens at 6:30. They're going to do the call before 6:30, for sure. Let me see if I can find the time. Yeah. Goldman Sachs earnings conference call is scheduled tomorrow, Tuesday. It's at 9:30? Nah. Wait, see? The financial results are expected to be announced earlier at approximately 7:30.
It was on the other page, that's 4:30.
That's 4:30.
Yeah, it was on the other page.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, I'll be up. So, yeah. I got money on this thing. Yeah. Right? Because remember I showed you my account with GEV? Remember I showed you my GEV? My GEV was, that thing was down. Did I put it on here? I don't know if I put it on here. Yeah, my GEV was down. And then they had an earnings call. No, it wasn't an earnings call. It was something Trump said. And the next morning when I woke up, man, I was down like 1,500 bucks, something like that. Woke up the next morning, man, I'm positive almost $4,000. I hurried up and opened my account and closed that thing. I only had one contract, so it was frozen. Yeah. But I made like 15 of them.
Yeah, so you just take the money and just reinvest it somewhere else,
Yeah.
Do you have like a cap amount for certain accounts, if you will, like certain companies, like okay, after I hit this much, then I'm probably gonna look to move somewhere else, or you just kind of go and like go on a gut feeling?
It depends on the market, and so for me, because I do options, I'm moving options. So, and then in a lot of my options, it depends on the market condition. Right now, I would say we're in about a 50 to 70% cash out. So if I get into a play and I get up 50% or 70%, I'm probably gonna sell it. Right? Before last year, we were in at least 100% sale. So I just hold on until it gets to at least 100%. I had one that went to 600%, and so it depends on the market itself. But right now, if I get in something and that thing runs up a quick 50, 60, 70%, I'm out. But and again, I'm doing options. If I only have one contract, I'm out. If I have two or more contracts and it runs up, if it gets to my 50 to 70, I'll sell one or two contracts and let the other one or two ride it out. Because at that point, I got my initial investment out. I'm just riding on house money at that point.
So
Yeah.
is everybody in this class, if you will, like already investing?
Some of us. Yeah. Some of us. Yeah. Some of us. All right. And so, so before we go, how was this so far? We still got a couple more to cover, but how was this so far? Okay. Okay. Is that all right? Bird? Okay. All right. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come back to this because I think we got like one or two more we got to do, debt to equity and then price to book, right? And so I want to make sure that you guys have them, but I want to come back and do them, and then I want to go over them. I want you guys to get used to them. Next week, I'll create the slides a little different. Drew gave me a couple of suggestions. Oh, we not here next week? Week after next. Oh, we in Texas, huh? Okay. So week after next, we'll come back and then we'll go back over this. And again, for those of you that may have some trouble getting it, just know it's okay. Right? It's okay. I'm telling you, this stuff is new. It's a new language. It's a new way to think. It's a new way to understand things. And so what's needed is there's some stuff I still don't get. Right? I've been looking, I've been watching, I've been reading, I'm like, I don't get it. Right? But a part of that, I recognize I got to get used to seeing it and hearing it. I got to immerse. It's like learning a new language and you haven't taken any classes and you do what they call immersion, right? Which they drop you off in the country. You don't even speak the language, right? You'll figure some stuff out in a couple weeks, couple months, right? You'll get a word here, word there, and then the concepts will start coming to you and then you'll listen, right? You'll start picking it up. And that's the key to all of this that you have to remember. The best thing you could do is go home, get some rest, and tomorrow, though, figure out some time and go back over and just pick some companies and do some of these, right? Get used to the website. Get used to seeing the numbers. I'm telling you, you have to spend time with it, okay? You got to spend time with it. The more time you spend with it, the better you'll get at it, and you won't need the paper after a while. You just know what to do, right? And you'll know where to go. Then you'll start asking other questions. What this mean on the website? I know we don't ever talk about that. But that's how we learn, okay? So just take your time, and then have fun with it. Don't let it depress you, right? You ain't got to get it all right now. you know. Yeah, you ain't got to get it all right now. And here's the last thing. But don't think you can't get it. Don't think you can't get it. Listen. Education is repetition. Yep. Don't think you can't get it.